Hey friends, it's Renee Bradshaw. I'm doing a 4 card reading today for past life for a client. I'm excited. I love these readings. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. I'm using the Everyday Witches Tarot. I love it. I like to use shells and rocks for grounding. Helps me. And I also have this little star cord from the inside of an apple. The everlasting life. The pentacle. There we go. I think I'm trying to get it. There we go. See? I like that too. This card describes you in your past life. So we have many different past lives. At least that's my belief. We're back here and anywhere else that our souls inhabit over and over again until we learn all the lessons that we need to learn. And so this is just focusing on one past life, and this past life is more than likely relevant in your life right now. So I see a woman here who's very blessed, and that's you in your past life. This witch right here is my feeling. This is you. You are very blessed. You're wealthy, possibly royalty, but you were supportive of those around you. You gave back. I'm trying to get this clear. You gave back where you could. You probably spent time feeding the village. I see everyone around you in the background is smiling and they're happy for your success. I don't see any faces that look like they're fake smiling. Everyone looks genuinely happy for your success here. And you haven't let it go into your head, I can see in this card. So whoever you were in this life that we're discussing today, you were definitely one who was well admired and well liked and also very successful, which is probably not something that's very common a long time ago, that people could be successful and well liked. At least that's not the part of history that we remember. So let's see your next card. This card is your purpose in that lifetime, and your purpose was to be in touch with your feminine energy. You see here, she's with child. This is also known as the mother card sometimes. At least when I pull cards, it's known as the mothering card. She comes up a lot when I'm asking the cards about my own mother. But so I think it was supposed to be about feminine power, which I really think is something that you achieved in that life. It's positive reading so far. Now, remember when I said earlier, she probably fed those around her more than just spiritually. This orchard was full of fruit. So I could see her not only giving back with her time, but giving back and feeding those around her quite literally, who were not as well off as she was, or as you are, in this lifetime. In both images, I see that you're great with power. Her wand here is not a regular wand, but a scepter with a giant ruby up top. And then, of course, the 6 of Wands here that she holds. And I can see if your feminine energy was linked to motherhood, and your power and strength was linked to motherhood, very likely you could have been a royal woman. That's what I'm getting from this, is that you were definitely royalty of some sort, whether that was a, just in a feudal society or a larger part, but having a child was important to your standing, important to you staying in that position of strength and empowerment. So they're not like totally out of the way. Okay. Now, a lesson you did not complete in that lifetime was to get out of a trap. Was to learn to live on your own. Now, this goes back to here, keyword link to motherhood, creating your power. But with your power, you are also very kind and understanding and gentle to those around you. I believe that you were probably not born into royalty or a higher standing, but married into it. And the way you were going to keep that standing was by having a child. You didn't want to be there. You didn't want to do this. You were loving in the nature in town. You were loving in your garden. You were good at your job, but you did not want to do that part of it. You did not want your marriage in that life. You wanted to escape, and you felt completely stuck. And you probably were pretty darn stuck, but if you see, she's holding her own binds down, which means she could release herself at any time, and the cat could push the swords down. So maybe there was someone else around you could have gone to for help, and you were afraid to. Perhaps there was a mother-in-law or a maid or somebody that you felt like you could trust, but you weren't sure. And so because of that, you were stuck, and you were stuck in this life you didn't want to be in. So the lesson learned there is the lesson not learned in that lifetime that you were supposed to was escape. You need to learn to be able to take control of your own life and to escape from things more often. And if that was something you did not learn in this lifetime, you could have learned it easily in another lifetime. But I believe you were trapped in that lifetime, or at least you felt trapped. And let's face it, if you were in a relationship where your life counted on having a child, that's probably something that if you had loosened those binds and snuck off, you wouldn't be living this lifestyle anymore. You'd be living in rags, the rags that this woman is in. And maybe that's how she ended up here, because she wanted to get out of these rags and wear the nice dress and be better off. And so she allowed herself to be sold or bought into a form of slavery by marriage to a wealthier man. How is this relevant to your current life? And you have the Temperance card. This card is all about balance. Everything is balance in this card. Healthy and junk food, old books, computers, the pose that she's in, she's balancing on a foot. This is about taking this life, especially I believe this right here, and learning balance. Learn when your binds are actually tied and when they're loose and when you can let go. When are you staying in a position because you feel like you have to, and when are you staying in that position because you do have to, and not just because you feel committed or indebted. That's a better word than committed. Just because you've agreed to do something, if later on you figure out that's not right for you, you should be able to cut the ribbons at your wrist and release and let go. Don't hang on to positions that are forcing you to do one thing or another. And by positions, I mean it could be anything. It could be a friendship, just a way of thinking, something going on at work, any of these things. So don't feel like commitments or they're tied forever. I'd like to draw one more card off the top here, and I feel like this card is going to show us this marriage situation right here. This is really intriguing to me. The 10, not the twin of swords. Okay, so you know how before I was saying I felt like there was a woman you could have trusted to help you escape this relationship and would have helped you see that there was something else besides this. Now I think you did trust her. You put your faith in her, and this is what happened. You were betrayed. She's running away here. Maybe she's the mother-in-law and she decided to stay with her son's way of thinking. Maybe she's the maid and she sold you out for a bag of gold or whatever. But I feel like you trusted her. You put your faith in her, and she basically nailed you to the ground or pierced you to the ground with all these swords and left you there. Your broom is just out of reach, keeping you from actually getting it and flying away. And I think that's probably how you ended up here, feeling like there was nothing else you could do. You were here in this situation, this marriage, making you feel on the outside like you had everything in control. Everyone loved you. You depended on having a child in order to stay in this influential position, but you weren't happy. You felt tied, and you trusted someone to help you get out of it, and they betrayed you. And that's possibly why in your life now you have a hard time with trust, or maybe not even trust, but maybe your intuition is stronger. You recognize quicker when someone is untrustworthy, but it's important to balance that and to see when you're keeping yourself guarded, when you're allowing yourself to be forced into a position. Perhaps sometimes your intuition is down, or your intuition is blocked or confused, and you force yourself into a position that part of you knows is not right. And that's something that you need to trust your intuition more to know the correct decision. When you want to escape a situation, you have the power to escape it. But yeah, I think that is what this past life was, and that ended up, these first two cards were so happy and just but this makes sense to me when we see these two sword cards here like this, especially these two. They're really dark kind of cards, and they're all about lessons though, and it's good to see sometimes why we're kind of born with the stronger intuition that keeps everything, keeps us thinking one way or the other. But it's just important to remember to trust your intuition. Trust your intuition and know you have the power to escape. You're the one in charge of your life, no one else. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I really enjoy doing that for you. The past life readings are available in my shop, and the link is down below, as well as a coupon. Bye guys.